What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Shear Podcast. We talk about people, politics, popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. We're on the road right now. I've decided I want to do more of these. I call them the open road rants. Whenever I'm traveling, I tend to be on a long trip. I tend to be driving for hours. The open road's usually the only thing in front of me. And I get these, whether it's triggered by music or maybe I'm listening to someone else's show or whatever it may be, I come up with these these trains of thoughts in my head. I thought I might as well share them with you, my beloved audience. And so this little open road rant is going to be talking about the meaning of life. I find it really interesting that most people go through life itself trying to figure out what life is. You often find it when you're down bad, you're at your lowest, is when you truly discover what life is. Because when life is good, you're too busy being in the midst of it, you're too busy enjoying it, you know what life is in that moment. It's your feelings. You don't care. You only start to ask, what's the meaning of life when you're bored or you're down bad. And I was thinking while I'm sitting here in the driver's seat of my car with various traffic going on around me, in front of me, and everywhere else, that I realized something that I wanted to share with you, my audience. Life is something that inherently holds no meaning besides that which you instill in your own. Because there are some people who, no matter how much happiness they have, they manage to find the worst things in life. Those who seek pleasure, the hedonists amongst us, are often the most sad people. It's very backwards, I know, but it's those of you who chase pleasure and chase the next high, they're often at their lowest the most. It's a very interesting statement in and of itself. But, I'm curious, what do y'all think life really is? What is the meaning of life? Multiple philosophers, authors, people in history, or even people on the internet have really explored this idea, and really there is no one answer. If you're a religious person, you're going to say that it's to glorify God. If you're not a religious person, you're going to say it's your own pleasure, most likely. And if you're a nihilist, you're just going to say that there's really no meaning at all. And quite frankly, I kind of relate to that. The approach of nothing really matters, and through that, you liberate yourself to find meaning. It's very existential in philosophy, but nonetheless, I believe it to be very true. You need to decide for yourself what it is you value out of your life. What do you want to become of your life? Most people don't have an answer to that question. They spend their entire life searching for what's right beneath their nose. People often try to find their meaning of life through the love of another person. They might try to find it at the end of a rainbow. They might try to find it in a pot of gold. They might try to find it trying to touch the hearts of others. All of those things are, at the end of the day, only as meaningless or meaningful as you allow them to be. That's the inability to really find a satisfying answer to this question is what drives people towards religion, quite frankly. Because you want to feel like your life has something important or is more important than just a fleeting dance in the sun. You want to feel like your life has meaning upon the infinite backdrop of the universe. And trust me, I understand that desire. I spend every day trying to figure out a way to leave a legacy, a way to be better than I was yesterday. Because if you're not improving, you're degrading and you're stepping backwards. If you can't step forward, you're stepping backwards. And if you should always be learning something new. At the end of the day, the purpose of life is really to learn. Because you'll never know what you don't. If you don't know what you don't know, then you have to always be trying to learn, because eventually you'll figure out what you don't know, and therefore you'll be able to learn it because you realize that you don't know it. Does that even make sense? Is anybody following what I'm saying? I know that sometimes I can maybe sound a little weird, or like, what the hell is Austin talking about this time? Well, my friends, I want you to, I don't care if you're at the top of your life right now, or if you're down bad and on the edge of the abyss. I want you to know that the only person who can control your feelings is you. Now, admittedly, people can influence those feelings, and your feelings are often what you misconstrue to be your life. Everybody wants to always feel good, feel loved, feel validated. So I understand that. I encourage you to find something outside yourself to pursue, because it's easy to get in your own head and get consumed with your own little bubble as the entire world. You ever be on your computer doing homework, working, whatever, and then you walk outside, you go for a walk, maybe you go for a smoke or you drink or whatever, you walk out, you get away from whatever it is you're doing, and you realize that really on the backdrop of the universe, the world, everybody else around you, your problems are really just a speck. You look up at the stars, for God's sakes, and see, you know what? Those are planets that are light years away, and yet they're so big that I can see them from Earth. And then you realize that in the grand expansion, the infiniteness almost of the universe, your problems really aren't that important, really aren't that much world-ending as it may appear in the moment. That's what life is. Life is realizing how small you are, so that then you can decide what it is you want to do with your small existence. Do you want to be more? Or are you going to accept the fact that you're small, that you're, at the end of the day, no matter how famous you are, no matter how important you are, eventually you're going to fall into the dustbin of history, be forgotten, and be nothing more than the dust of the ground. You'll decide, you'll get a real frame, and you'll be able to decide what it is you want to do with your life, and it will liberate you from the fleeting demands of others, who you think your life depends on pleasing other people who inherently don't matter, or only matter as much as you allow them to matter. To you young people out there who are, early 20s like me, maybe you're a teenager, maybe you're in high school, middle school, college, maybe you're 60 and you've been out of college and high school for 40 years. The human condition does not truly change all that much. The meaning of life doesn't really change. Technology might change. The circumstances in your country or the world might change. But humans don't change all that much. The desires and the needs of the human being have not changed since the Stone Ages all that much. It may seem more complicated, might seem like you're facing unique problems that no one else in the world has ever faced in the history of the human existence, but I can guarantee you that's false. It's easy to feel alone, and that's one feeling you're going to have to get comfortable with, is because you have to train yourself to be alone a lot, because you're going to be alone a lot, and you need to be able to thrive when you're alone if it does not come natural to you. I, for one, thrive on being alone. That doesn't mean I hold contempt for the company of my friends. It just means that I know how to sit in silence and not lose my sanity. But a lot of people fall into the trap of, they feel surrounded yet still alone. They think that surrounding themselves with people gives them meaning because they have some kind of standing in some social circle. But I'm here to tell you, that social circle you're with right now most likely won't last forever. And you're going to be back to where you started, of trying to find meaning in your menial existence, as I do every day. And I know what the meaning of my life is. Do you know the meaning of your life? it's an answer that really can only satisfy you if you're the one to answer it. I could give you my answer, and I really, frankly, already have. But I want you to really understand that just like the open road in front of me that you can probably hear in the background, your life is you're always going to be moving forward. That's why change is inevitable. But I want you to know that everybody around you can bond with the suffering you've endured. The one thing that everybody has in common is pain. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll stop hiding your pain and you'll start sharing it with other people, because it will help you relate to others in a way that really most people try to do the opposite. They try to bond over their success. When everybody suffers, everybody goes through difficult times, and that's what's supposed to bring people together, not drive you farther apart. Anyways, my friends, I just wanted to talk about this because I was mulling it over in my head as the open road is in front of me. Been driving for a couple hours, heading back home from visiting some family, and these are the kind of things that I think about all the time. And a lot of people in my life, they frankly, I get the feeling that I burden them with a lot of the things I talk about. Because, look, if you think that this is an act, it's not. Frankly, sometimes I wish it was, because it'd be really easy for me to fake one thing and be another, but I can't do it. What you hear is what you get from me. This is how I talk. If anybody who knows me in real life knows that this is how I talk all the time. And quite frankly, I have to learn how to compartmentalize it a little bit better, because a lot of people don't care to hear about this stuff. They want to hear the normal two-dimensional conversation. They want to pretend like they're getting to know you, and they're really only getting to know the symptoms of circumstances, and that's it. If you think you're alone with facing life's burdens and no one else's, you're wrong, by the way. I guarantee you someone you know and you care about is going through something and they're not telling you because they want to act like they got it all together. When everybody needs to remember that suffering is not unique to one single person. So if you're suffering today listening to the show, pick up the phone, text or call somebody, for God's sakes. You're not alone. You're only alone if you choose to be. Anyways, my friends, I appreciate you joining the Roadside Rant with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have anything you want to add to the conversation, hopefully you can hit me up on Twitter at Austin Creed. I'll see him when I get on Twitter later when I'm not driving. But anyways, my friends, I appreciate you listening and tuning into the show today. Hopefully you enjoyed the Roadside Rants. Let me know if you enjoy them, you want to hear more of them. Until next time, God bless you, God bless your family, God bless the United States of America. We're out of here. Peace.